Hello again, whiskey friends. Happy Whiskey Wednesday, everybody. Here we are again, and we are going to have some fun tonight. So, as a quick preview for tonight's programming, we have week 2 of our Whiskey Friend Advent Challenge. We have 17 patrons, plus Kelsey, plus Darrell, who are going through this Advent Challenge of 4 blind samples. We've been doing one a week, and today is week 2. And I can't wait to show you the results. Man, everyone's doing so well on this blind flight. I'm pretty excited to show their answers. Then the second half of the show, we're going to finalize our 2023 whiskey tournament to essentially crown what is going to be our collective favorite whiskey of the year. Last week, we drafted a whole lot of bottles. This week, we're going to actually seed them on the bracket to see what is going to go against each other. So if you didn't see what bottles were in it last week, you'll get to see that today and see what interesting bottles will go head to head. So without further ado, thank you for joining us, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. All right. Well, we got 33 people in here so far. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And let's bring on the man who is also at the center of my chest, close to my heart. Let's bring on Kelsey.
Cheers, everybody. Bringing that Big Vic energy tonight. Cheers to you all. Hope you're having a great week. Mine was kind of crappy, but I'm here tonight, so it's going to get much, much better real soon. So good to see everybody in here already. I know my friends that we did our local meetup last night instead of Monday, and they were all talking about for the first 30, 40 minutes about the Advent. So it was a fun conversation. So hopefully next year you guys will get more involved on this, more patrons. So cheers to everybody tonight, and it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
Man, Kelsey, I don't know. 17 hand deliveries was already very ambitious. We'll see if we can make just the biggest blind flight tournament ever created.
There you go.
Well, what was the topic of conversation about the Advent on Monday?
They were like, I think I got the wrong sample. There's no way that was Henry McKenna, blah, blah, blah. I thought it was a rye. No, it wasn't a rye. It was funny. It was an interesting conversation that everybody couldn't believe what it was. And it was funny.
That bottle, when I first cracked it. So by the way, everybody, as we're going through this, the week 1 sample, we're going to be on doing week 2 today, but the week 1 sample was a Henry McKenna 10-year. So these are all single barrels, of course. And I feel like people don't talk about these as much as they used to ever since the price increase and you couldn't find them for a while.
Yep.
But now they're all around Northern Kentucky. The price is up. It was $70 a bottle, but with the opportunity to have, 2 matching barrels, I looked through all the barrel numbers and made sure I had 2 of the exact same before doing this flight. When I first cracked this open, it was so bright and kind of weird that I actually felt bad giving it to everybody. And then later on, I came back to the bottle and I was like, no, that's actually kind of good. What the heck happened to that thing? Like, it just needed a chance to breathe a little bit to open up. But I think some people poured their sample, tasted it right away, and then guessed versus like pouring it, let it sit out for 15 minutes, let it air out, and then come back to it.
Yeah.
We gave everybody that advice for week 2, and I think quite a few people did that because, man, there are some people today that blew it out of the water. I tell you what, you got some stiff scores to go up against today. Oh, man, I am impressed with so many.
That's awesome.
Now, we're missing our third. Darrell is having technical difficulties. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know how he said his CPU sucks. So his POS is a real POS. So
Darrell decided to try some new computer, and StreamYard was like, "Nope, you got to go back to the."
Oh, cheers, Lance. Thanks, man. Speaking of super chats, we'll jump into that. This week, it's my turn. So most people know I'm a turkey head and I love turkey. So I'm going to give a turkey bottle away. We're going to give a Russell's Reserve. If I can get it fixed. There we go. Pick.
Okay.
And here is what's on it. I don't know if I can get that to focus or not. We'll see. There we go. So it's a 10-year Camp Nelson A pick. So that's what's super chat is. $5 gets you an entry into that, and I'll get that out into whoever wins tomorrow and get that for your turkey on Christmas.
On Christmas.
There you go.
Man, 12 days away, less than 2 weeks. That just scares the crap out of me. Still got to do some shopping. I've totally bought Dana lots of gifts.
Here's the great part for me is we don't buy each other gifts because obviously behind me all year long, that's of my gifts. So
yeah, sprinkle of gifts all year long.
Yeah, and I just what do you want? Just buy whatever you want. I don't care. So we just kind of take care of each other. JG's in for $5 for a spot. Cheers to you, buddy. Make sure you guys hit the like button, as JG always tells us. 1-800 MASH now. Mash that like button. Appreciate it.
Well, why don't we head up to the top? We forgot to say hi. Launch in the conversation.
Yeah. Let's I believe Top Dog usually is our top one. Let's see if he was the same one as usual. If I can get this. There we go. Yes, Top Dog. Cheers, everybody. Hit your like button on your way in. Ellen's fam is in. Cheers to you. Our buddy and co-worker here, along keeping with Super Chats. Ethan is here. And the best Turk is also here, Katie. Nice to see you, friends. Lance, that we just saw earlier, is here. Tim Cornet. Mark is in. Slapshot's in. Good to see you in here, buddy. I hope you're doing well.
Man, what a crowd.
Jason Norseman's in here. Just saw him last night. GT Mustang is here. Ricardo is in here. Cheers to you, buddy. My main man, Chigosaurus, is in here. Good to see you, Sam. He was one that kept thinking it was a rye. Yes, on this. So he was trying to put it up against different bottles. John is in here. Good to see you, John. MJ is here. Cheers to you. Paul P is in the house. Tyler Smith. T. Jarrett. Oh, it's Shauna Marie D. Cheers to you. Good to see you in here. Jake McKee is in here. Mr. Tony Bag of Donuts is in here. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. We're getting close. Ben Draymond. Christine Vasco. Good to see you in here. Cheers to you, friend. It's good to see you in here. Krista Ginsburg. Sorry about that. I don't recognize that one. Do you recognize that one?
Yeah, she was here last week too.
Okay.
Welcome.
Cheers. Sorry about that, Krista. Good to see you back in here again. I don't always get to see everybody's names. OH, cheers to you, buddy. Peter White is in here. Let's see. Sam's still talking about Arai. Oh, goodness. Roy R. does cocktails. Let's see. Nope. My sample week one went straight to the dome on crack.
Let's see if he guessed rye again today. He's just going to double down until he gets a rye.
Until he gets a rye. That's right. There's our buddy, D Whiskey Saint. So he's working on that.
I just texted Darrell. I was like, Darrell, phone it in. Literally.
Yeah, exactly. Bourbon Bounty, good to see you in here. Spirited Life is in here. Cheers to see you. Good to see you. Wise Guy Santa. Good to see you, buddy.
All
I think we're caught up.
Man, and so many of these names are competing tonight, and so many of these names did well. Man, who knows who it is, though? You just about called out all of our competitors, but one did really well.
There he goes.
Where is he? There he is. Wait, I think he's
Jesus.
actually got his computer working too.
Yeah.
That's not a phone, that's a computer.
That is the slowest computer in the world. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
let
I
me
can
just
see you. You look
mute
good.
You know that happens with PCs. You know,
They're both actually not PCs.
what are they?
They're Macs. That's
What
what happens when they're Macs. They're
Oh
Macs
man.
in the 1940s, I guess.
Mm.
Egg on your face, Kelsey. Way to try to call out the Windows computers, and it's a Mac.
No, they are actually
Windows rocks. Go team Windows.
No, they are Windows, but I was using my
Thank you. Thank you.
my wife's
I've
newer
never seen a Mac in your possession other than the one that you sold. So
God, yeah. But
I knew you wouldn't be buying a Mac with the phone that you have. So
Well, after 40 minutes of dealing with technical difficulties, Darrell, I think you're in need of a drink.
absolutely.
So
now,
if you
like,
haven't
spring's
poured it
on my end.
already, it's time to pour your sample. And
I
it's
poured
time
it.
to
Dark that is, man. That is dark.
Oh yeah, look at this thing.
So I'm frozen on my computer, but I'm looking at the TV and it's still good. So
Yeah,
Sure.
you're good.
all right. Yeah, I did look at it. I'm like, holy crap.
Yes,
So much
$10
like what I was
issue
drinking.
increase, Bourbon Bounty.
Dude, it's just
Thank
as
you,
dark as what I was drinking.
All right. Tim Cornet's in.
Cheers to you guys. If you're just joining in, we are giving this bottle right here away. It will actually be full. I'm drinking on the other one. So
This bottle, after it's empty, is
after it's empty. No, that's there's a brand new bottle. It will be sealed. But we are giving a Camp Nelson 10-year pick away. So it was barreled on the 4/25/13 and poured or dumped on the 8/30/2023. So 10 years old.
Man, I need some eggnog. He always brings up the eggnog. Everyone's bringing up eggnog, and I haven't had any eggnog yet.
Well, you know, it's fair game because you did that to us all freaking month last year in December.
Man,
With your I'm going to call it custard nog because that's exactly what it was. You weren't drinking eggnog. It was kind of ploppy. It was a little custardy.
I'm going to make some after this. I'm sure it's going to turn out quite marvelous after drinking. So explore the sample, text me answers, and then we can talk about it. While you guys are exploring it, getting used to it, Kelsey and Darrell don't know what I poured. I'm the only one with the answers, which is always dangerous. I will go through a little bit of a spiel with the presentation, explain to what we're doing tonight for the 55 people that are in here. Maybe some people weren't here last week. I'll give them a little recap.
Okay.
All right. So we are doing the 2023 Advent Challenge. We had 17 patrons sign up for this challenge. I'm going to flash their names on the screen here. 17 brave souls who put their life in my hands with whatever I sent them. So far, most of them have enjoyed the pours. And ultimately, they have to guess proof, age, type, finish, distillery, and bottle, just like we would do when we do the blind flight challenges.
I don't know where the thing is.
And
okay, baby.
We'll score all this, put everyone's scores against each other, and we'll see what Kelsey and Darrell do. And if they beat Kelsey and Darrell any given week, they get some bonus points for that as well. So to recap last week, I mean, Mark and Stu nailed it. I messed up all their points initially, but I had to go back, rescore it. 14 points for Mark, 12 points for Stu. OH is close behind. Ethan and Katie are right there. And then we got Christine Vasco, 9 points. That's quite the top 5. And everybody had points after last week, too. So no one walked away without scoring any points. And this week as well, everybody is on the board in week 2. But man, we'll see if we're up for some changes on this leaderboard. I don't know. There's going to be some drama here. Kelsey thus far is at 7, and Darrell is at 11 for context as well. All right, so I'm going to remove that. And then I got the presentation up here so I can update it with your scores as we go. So Kelsey and Darrell are going to text me their answers, and then we can discuss the pour once their answers are in. So let's see here. I'll catch up on chat real quick. I know I need to get that recipe going. I'll work on that. I'll post it somehow. Me and recipes though, it's more like improvision and hope and prayer. But I'll send you the recipe.
Whiskey BS asked me, where did I score the Russell's Reserve CNA? It's really good. It's if you know much about the warehouses in Russell's, they all have way different profiles. This particular one is pretty bright and citrus forward, which I kind of expect for Russell's, but this one has like a juicy fruit note, which is really nice. And then it really fades into the oak. So I would say it was like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like an 8.5. It's right there towards the top, but it's really good. And it also just depends on like which warehouse of turkeys that you've tried and which ones you like best.
And you know, I interpreted that question a little differently, Kelsey. It's also a private group pick. If you meant score in terms of acquire versus rating.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it that way.
Could be either way, right?
Yeah, it's a private group.
Top dog is in. All right. Now, Darrell, I kind of volunteered us for us to have 3 winners tonight, so I'll give away a blind flight, and I wrote down your name as well, but I never got to check it with you during all your technical difficulties. So
yeah, that's
just to
fine.
warn you, I signed you up for a blind flight tonight.
Got it. We'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
Oh, Christine, no faith in yourself. Come on, I want to hear some confidence. I want you to start talking smack throughout the chat, you know? These people, what's up?
She's scared after Darrell headshots of all these bottles lately.
I mean, Darrell, what do you always call Christine?
The good Vasco?
The good Vasco. So be good and talk some smack in the chat. Oh, great. Man. Scott's in there too. He's in for 10. Hey, gents. New to your stream. Hey, thanks, buddy. Thoroughly enjoyed last week. Thanks for coming back. Oh, I'm looking forward to see what happens now too. Guys, get me your answers in. It's
man, 8:18. I know.
I want answers in by 8:25.
Jeez Louise.
That's like holding Darrell down with your foot on his throat.
But I'm getting attacked over here. I got my 1-year-old trying to grab my bottle of water.
Do you guys need a recap on the categories, or you got it down by now?
I wrote it down.
Proof, distillery, age, and bottle.
Proof, age, type, finished, state, distillery, and bottle. Walk through that whole thing. All those details. All right. Oh, I scared Darrell away. That was too much.
No, my little one. Getting into stuff. He's normally downstairs right now, but he was sleeping and just woke up.
Oh, that's interesting. Stu's saying he's getting a lot of gain from your mic. Really? You sound pretty good in my ears, though.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't changed anything. I'm not sure. Maybe my
sounds good to me, but I'm also using the speakers instead of earbuds. So
I know Kelsey already showed it, but I think that's the main characteristic to show everybody is just the color of this one. Look at that thing. That thing's crazy. But I won't talk about it too much. Can't wait till they give me their answers so we can talk freely. But Sam, they're really going to like this, rye.
That's not a rye. And my stupid phone keeps turning on and typing stuff on my mute on my. Stop. on my phone. Stop.
All right. Well, everyone in chat, let us know what you're sipping on. I know some people are probably drinking along with the rest of their 2-ounce sample, but I'm real interested to hear what everybody else is drinking. So let us know in chat. I saw some Russells. Some people are already drinking Russells. How are you keeping warm in this cold December? Now, one of the things that we can get into too, but interested to hear without giving anything away of what you're guessing, how much did you enjoy this? So I'm also going to need a rating between 0 and 10 on how you like this pour.
I like it, and I know why I like it. Which will kind of give it away if I say.
I'd be weirded out if you're like, I like it, but I don't know why I like it.
No, I know why I like it.
Because he's already headshot in the bottle. I'm telling you, man.
No.
Man, I mean, we didn't have one headshot of this bottle. We didn't have 2 headshots of this bottle. We had 3 headshots on this bottle. Man, all of our competitors made me so proud as I was going through that score sheet. I can't wait. Can't wait to go through it.
Yeah, I'm trying to what's
all right. He is in, Mark's in, not talking. Everyone's afraid to talk smack. See, everyone knows the roller coaster rides of the blind flights, right? Like, you just need to be good on like 2 samples typically. Like, you can't be good at all 4. You just got to be good at 2 to get a respectable score.
Yeah, how warm is it there in California right now, Big Vic? I'm curious. Yeah. It's got to be warm compared to here.
It's got to be a brisk, 59. Like, it's probably straight chilly, giving them goosebumps.
Cheers to the legend, Richie Z's in the house. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Let me know when you do your Tisco flight. I want to hear what you think about those, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Great Scott just poured. What was that? Sorry.
I clicked it. There you go. Yep.
Little Midwest ported pumpernickel rye. Dude, that's a good bottle. That is a way underrated bottle right there, my friend.
Did you get one of the picks from David?
I did.
Yeah. So I've never owned a bottle of it, but I have a pick on the way of that pumpernickel rye. Got to try that sample with Bill when he put it in the blind. That's the only other time I've tried it. But man, that was good.
This smells so familiar.
All right. Did you send me answers, Kelsey?
Actually, I'm going to change one thing.
What? I didn't say you could change it. What?
Yeah.
All right. I'll start putting you in the sheet here. And as I'm scoring Kelsey here, keep an eye on chat, and Darrell, get me yours. All right. So Kelsey guesses 140 proof. That makes sense.
Right.
20 years old. Okay. He definitely gets to rye. So Sam, he's on the same page with you.
Just pour a little.
Jeff's a terrible liar. You can tell exactly when he's lying, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing. Like, he's never going to get away with anything with Dana because he's the worst liar ever. She has to know when he's lying.
Kelsey, can I imply that this? I just don't lie. That's all I do. I just tell the truth all the time. I don't wear that. Do I imply that your distillery and state are going to match? I need a
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Good.
It's really good, though. I like it a lot. It's a little more tannin than I remember, if it's what I think it is.
It's going to be. And then what would you say on a scale of 0 to 10?
I'd say close to it, like 7.9, 8, something like that. I mean, it's really good.
We're rounding up.
Like gonna blow your socks off, but it's definitely a solid, really good pour. Like, especially for somebody who likes. Well, I can't say that yet because Darrell hadn't sent his answers in. I don't want to give him.
For someone who likes why I like this.
For somebody who likes finished whiskey. Some of that.
All right. I've got Kelsey scored. All right. So that equals that equation there.
Darrell feels your pain there, I'm sure. And Jeff probably too. I'm sure he gets kicked off his computer by his daughter all the time. Daughters.
That is somewhat true.
I don't have a
All
bottle
right.
guess for this.
Darrell, it is up to you. I got faith in you. You can do it. You're 1 minute over my imposed deadline, though.
Well, I started late.
That's good to hear, Richie. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Those are some of my favorites. I'm should be dropping on Friday, FYI. Early alert, Disco 11 review Friday. So,
all right.
If everybody hasn't tried that yet, I'm going to be doing that it'll drop Friday. So,
I can't wait to see where you score that. Do you know if they still have those at the distillery? I've been debating.
Yep, they do.
Whether to get one. It doesn't seem like distribution on the discos is as widespread as it used to be. There's so much 8 on the shelves that like no one put out 9, no one put out 10 around me.
I also saw, was it one of the online places just dropped them too? I don't remember if it's one of the ones that we've, either Silbox or Shared Pour or Keg Bottle, something just dropped those too. I don't remember.
I definitely didn't bottle guess this, but yeah, take that.
All right. That's something I have been thinking about.
I had to hedge a bit on a couple categories.
We're going to do the put together the bracket after this, but the one thing I've been thinking about, I got asked a question about what bottles did I not get here this year that I wanted. And thus far, I think it's just the Disco 11 and the Maker's Cellar Age. Those are the two that came to mind, but I wanted to think about it a bit more to see if I could come up with a whole list of them or if it was just those two. But curious what you guys would say to that.
Yeah. Cheers, Hawk. Good to see you in here, buddy.
Got it.
The man, the myth, the legend. I was thinking about you and Julie a while ago. I saw somebody post what they sent you guys for brewers, so made me think of you guys. I hope you're doing well, buddy, and Julie as well. Make sure you give her a big hug for me. I think I agree with you definitely on the Makers. There was one bottle that I saw at my local, and it went in a raffle. And then I know Trev got 2, but one of them was sent like half a bottle, and then he found one. So, and he's in Arkansas too. So there just wasn't a lot of that bottle, I don't think, distributed out. As many bottles that they said they had, they didn't go anywhere near me. I think the other one that I was surprised that I really didn't see that I usually see was the 135th. Four Roses LE 135th. That's the other one I would say that I thought that I would see a few bottles of that I didn't. So
I made a slight change to my proof.
I see that. All right.
Going with that. No more changes.
No more changes. All right, that's good because I didn't think your score could get any lower, but
I don't know if I did good on
that. It was safe.
This one confused me because I thought something immediately. Then the more I drank it, the more I didn't think it was that.
All right.
But it reminds me of something that I've tasted for sure. But
okay,
I'm probably way off on this one. I think I want it to be what I think it was rather than what it actually is. So we'll see.
What did you think?
You guys talk about it while I do this.
Okay. I thought it was like a Bull Run finished.
So you thought it was a light whiskey?
Yeah.
Like
I thought it was really, but it had a really weird, like almost drying finish, which is not typically what I get on those. So
yeah, I can see where you were getting at because I think it's a red wine, like a cab finished bourbon. Like I didn't get the light whiskey vibe to make me think Bull Run, unless it's maybe one of the proof down versions that I haven't had. Like those 90 or maybe 100 proof ones that they do.
Yeah, that's what it came across to me as, like 100 proof. a 6, 7-year-old, or maybe even as high as 15. I think I put 15, but I do get some spice on the middle of my tongue at the very end of the finish. So I don't know, man. I think I bombed this one tonight.
What do you think of that color?
The color is great, dude. It's almost as, like I said, I was drinking a sample of the K Luke, and I still got enough of this so you can see it, but they're literally like the same color.
When you posted that picture, I thought that
freaking dark, dude. Like, look at that. It's freaking crazy.
Sam, I don't get malt on this, buddy. I don't get any malt. Darrell, do you get this malty notes or anything like that?
On the tail end of the finished, I get a little bit of it, but like it almost made me think for a second too. Now that they say, well, I was thinking of it before that. But I was up in the air with the Jack single malt, which I know it's not because I get too much of a chocolate vibe on that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a red wine finished bourbon. Like I hedged a bit with like Kentucky and Indiana and like MGP type stuff, but I'm not positive. But I think I've had it before.
Oh wait, he gets malted rye notes on it. That's interesting. I haven't drank a malted rye in a while, so I remember malted rye. If he's talking about the new riff, I thought that one was a little bit more fruit forward. At least the old one, like the 6-year was anyway. Now the new
it's
one,
definitely not that. The Jack was this dark.
Yeah,
the twice barreled Jack rye. And like I said, I thought that quickly, but the more I drank it, the more it didn't remind me of a rye. But the finish could be hiding it. Like I would have to nose my bottle to see if that's even it. But I don't know.
All right, almost done here. 18. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Ethan because he did the description in a nice way instead of what he normally says about smoke white and malted rye.
Ethan and Katie did not dig this one. I thought that was interesting. It got really good scores from nearly everyone, but they were a little adverse to this pour, I think. Ethan said it gave him like kind of small barrel crafty vibes.
Oh yeah, so it's definitely.
I can see that
which might be the thing that people are conflating with the malt. Maybe.
Oh, wait.
I can see that a little bit on the finish with the tannins, but this is a way too sweet, and it doesn't have a craft note like I normally get with a small barrel. Excuse me.
That's the wrong.
It's not a rye. It's not a rye. I can tell you, it's not a rye, Sam. And Sam did not guess it was a rye.
Yay, Sam! He didn't guess that it was a rye.
That's
funny.
Let me see if this worked. Oh, what did that say? Sagamore. Yeah. There was a Sagamore guess in here. So let me see if my slide's updated. So, all right, week 1. Here we go.
Don't you mean week 2?
Or week 2? Did I say week 1?
Well, it said week 1, so that's why I'm.
Oh, that's why I said week 1. Yeah, week 2. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'm just going to say whatever's on the teleprompter. So had a little time. I added a little bit, cleaned up my charts and everything so people can actually read them this week. But here are the accumulation of proof guesses to go through it. Now you get 3 points if you're within 1, 2 points if you're within 5, 1 point if you're within 8. Both Kelsey and Darrell did score points on this. So they are within the ranges there. And you can kind of see the answer distribution amongst our challengers. The where people coupled the most was the same as Kelsey and Darrell in this 100 to 109 proof range. And props to Mr. Jigs and Christine
Vasco. 106 proof.
106 proof.
Way to go, Mr. Jigs, as well.
So Darrell was within 1 proof point. Kelsey, you were within 6. Both of you right there with it. All right. Ages was interesting because the ranges of responses was a bit across the board, and you can see how Kelsey and Darrell felt too. This was actually one of the things that it was actually one of the reasons I picked this particular bottle, because I knew going in that the color might actually influence people. So, I mean, once again, that color does not look like a 4-year whiskey, but this is indeed a 4-year whiskey. And great job to everybody who coupled around right there, with that 4 to 6 year age range being the most popular answer. And big congrats to Ben Hernandez and Gandy Road being right on top of it with a 4-year age guess exactly. All right, Doug H is in, and he's given his entries to Slapshot. Thank you, Doug.
Appreciate it, buddy. Congrats, Ben and Gandy Road. That's awesome, man. I knew it was a younger one, but I didn't think it was 4 years old. That surprises me.
I feel like you got to trust your nose on this one versus the palate and the color, right? Because it does have a lot of that barrel influence despite its age, which is what was turning Ethan off, right? With that small barrel type of a note. I understand what he's saying. All right. Is it a bourbon or is it a rye? Bourbon was the overwhelming consensus. Kelsey and Darrell both say bourbon. It is indeed a bourbon. Finished. We had 4 people say it wasn't finished. 11 said it was. I got to add Sam's to this too. Sam's got his all spread all out there, but I don't have him in the charts yet, which is why it adds up to 15. And then Kelsey and Darrell both said it was finished. And it is indeed finished. That's what's giving it that color. And, when Darrell called out the color of the sample that he was drinking earlier, that red tone, I mean, this thing is red if you let the light get through it.
Yep.
What's the finish?
Oh, we'll get there, Darrell. Hold your horses. Now, what's really interesting to me when we get to the bottle guesses, somebody actually guessed the finish, but guessed the wrong bottle and distillery. But they guessed the right finish. I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
So state-wise, Kelsey and Darrell will split. Kelsey said Indiana. Darrell said Kentucky. I think he was hedging some of his bets.
He was.
Kentucky was the most popular answer, but the correct answer was Indiana.
That's what I had at first.
Now, what I do find interesting thus far in the blind flight, this happened last week as well, as I kind of analyze everybody's answers. I think psychologically we're messing with them a little bit. People keep guessing Texas and still Austin. They are waiting for a still Austin sample.
I think they saw all of the reviews and then how much we liked it and were planning to play it on us rather than actually what was in the bottle.
They just keep doubling down.
Well, and also I will say too that darkness too on Texas whiskey can get that way from a bourbon without it being finished. So,
well, now we get into the big points. Oh no, not yet. I still got the whiskey rating. I threw that in there. So, rating wise, I forgot to update your slide. I think you both said 8. Darrell, what did you say?
Yeah, right around there. Yeah.
8. 8 was the consensus. Most people really like this one. Some people were off on it, though. I think either the finish or the youth or just something threw people off. So I thought that was interesting. It was a little bit divisive, but majority kind of put it in that 8 range. And what we are drinking
Starlight
is a Starlight.
Yeah,
congratulations
rigged
to Ben and Big Vic. Big Vic, who did all of his samples in a marathon session like 8 days ago. But yes, we are drinking a bottle of Starlight here.
What is it? Port?
And real quick, we'll go through what the finish is in a sec because I have to figure out if I can actually pronunciate it. But the other guesses that we got were Chattanooga, MGP, Driftless Glen, Heaven Hill, Barton, Sagamore, Bardstown, Brown Foreman, Isaac Bowman, Still Austin, Jack Daniels, and New Riff. So Wow, what a wide range of things that this could taste like. So interesting. And then the bottle guess, correct answer from Ben, who doubled down on Starlight, Big Vic, and then I'm bringing up Christine Vasco.
Way to go, guys.
Now, I will say, some people did guess very specific bottles of Starlight. You know, they said Starlight bourbon finished in port. If they said Starlight bourbon, I gave them the bottle. I didn't worry about if they guessed the right finish. That wasn't the point. So I will say that, full disclosure, if you said Starlight bourbon, you got the bottle guess. So congratulations. And that, yes, Katie, you were the one that guessed it right. And how do you pronounce that?
Pinot de
Charente. Okay. I'll just pretend like I knew how to pronounce it before you said it out loud.
Yeah, those French names are weird.
But this was a local store pick. They just came out with it. The guy that did the pick was real proud of it. And he was when I told him what I was going to do with it, that I was going to put it in this advent calendar and all this kind of stuff, he was real excited that I was going to share it with everybody for other people to enjoy it, since he was so proud of this pick. The reason that I did this one too is Matt Porter did a pick of this. It was either earlier this year, it might have been last year at this point. I was really, really impressed with it. So when I saw another one and I had a chance to buy enough for everybody, doubled down on it and knew it would throw people off. I mean, between the color, the weird finish, Starlight only being 4 years old, the lower proof, all those things.
You know what surprises me the most that Ethan and Katie didn't like it is because they love Starlight and they actually love that finish, but they didn't like that particular pick of that finish.
Just that particular pick.
Yeah.
So going through the end here, Tony got his 4-gate samples. He won that off of a Kilco fundraiser. But enjoy. You got all these 4-gates.
Thanks, Tony. Bag of donuts.
He is in for tonight's entries. So here's some other bottles guesses we got. You can guess who that Driftless Glen guess was, since I've already kind of spoiled it and Katie already threw out. She knew what finish it was. But Chattanooga, Elijah Craig, Backbone, there's some Still Austin, as I was saying. Jack Daniels, Calumet 16. Calumet 16 is another bottle that's come up twice now. Jack Daniels twice barreled. So caught the finishing, but, thought it was that Jack Daniels. Love the diversity in these answers. I thought the Bardstown collab, Goose Island, was an interesting bottle guess too.
Yeah, I don't know if I have I have the KBS. I don't have the Goose Island. So, well, we sucked it up big time this week, Darrell.
So, yeah, I had to award some bonus points here. Congratulations this week to Christine Vasco, 17 points. Is that a near?
Did you go, girl?
Score?
Is that not including the rating again?
Not including the rating, Darrell. No, she got 4 points on proof, 2 points on age, 2 points on type, finish, state. Didn't get the distillery. She hedged, but did guess Starlight Bourbon for the bottle. So that gave her 15 and then a bonus point for having a higher score than you and a higher score than Kelsey.
Basically got my total of 2 weeks points in 1 week.
Exactly.
Now, not far behind. Great score again from Ben. Big Vic, redemption after last week. Gandy Road, a big score again. He's been showing some consistency too. And then we got Tyler getting on the leaderboard. Congratulations, buddy.
Way to go, guys. That's awesome.
There's a whole slew of people right there at like 8 to 9 points too. So there's this is the top 5, but there are a lot of people like right there with them.
Oh, look who is jumping in. I'll always love it. Hey, fellas, Pinot de Charente is a
aperitif.
Thank you. From the Cognac region of France. It's made from fresh grape juice or partially fermented grape juice that's fortified with cognac and aged. There you go. Here's your whiskey knowledge for the night.
That's the wine I'm getting.
Those guys dropping bombs.
I tend to like these most of the time. I kind of agree with Ethan and Katie, though. I think that there's some better Pinot de Charente picks out there that I've tasted from Starlight that had more of a depth and not so much youngness to it. So
Well, here we are with the leaderboard, weeks 1 plus weeks 2. The good Vasco up at the top, 26 points. If you keep this up, Christine, we might dub you the best Vasco. Ben Hernandez, though, man, he's putting on a clinic of consistency. Gandy Rose right there. And then Mark and Stu, who hit home runs last week, did enough to stay on that leaderboard this week. So they did just enough. When I said there was a bunch of people there, in that range right around that top 5, you can see where they landed too. So congrats to everybody, and thank you for humoring us and keep playing forward. Get those week 3 responses in by Tuesday.
Guys, we're going to keep the super chats on for another 10 minutes. So we're doing a giveaway of the turkey bottle that I got here, which is Camp Nelson A 10-year, and then either a blind flight from Darrell or a blind flight from Jeff. So
yeah.
Yep. I'll put something together. Figure it out, but it'll definitely be tasty. She say,
I would have loved to taste that. I bet that was freaking amazing.
Oh,
I wasn't into whiskey back then in 2016. I wish I was. Yeah.
I was just drinking Jack and Coke back then. Didn't know anything about bourbon.
Killer bottle. Nancy, I hope you're feeling better. I know you said you were under the weather from your trip, and I think she just got back from Texas from doing her annual blend-again of her own, basically a class on teaching maturation and blending and all of that good stuff. Mr. Jiggs, thanks, man. Way to go.
He really wants Vic to know that he just did okay. Rigged.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, we've got 14 minutes left here. I think that is enough time to set the stage for our next portion of today's show, and that is to put together the bracket. So let me get something started here.
Do it up.
All right. So everybody, if you did tune in last week, we did essentially an NFL-style draft to figure out what's going to go in our bracket to essentially crown our collective favorite whiskey of this year. Last year, it was the Lucky 7 Proprietor 14-year. I believe it was the Justin's House of Bourbon one, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what won the tournament last year. We're going to do the tournament again this year. And with this tournament, I'll send out a link on Patreon as well. We'll essentially do kind of a Final Four challenge where we'll do a contest and people can guess the Final Four and then the winner. I'll keep track of all the points, and we'll continue to have fun with these games. So keep an eye on that if you're in our Patreon. The bracket that I put together is here. So we're going to have 16 bottles in this bracket, 4 blind flights, 4 bottles each. 1 sample will win each region, and then they'll move on to the final 4, and we'll crown 1 winner when this is all said and done. Now, amongst all the bottles that we drafted last week, Kelsey, Darrell, and I independently ranked where we thought the seating should go for those bottles, took the averages, and then that's going to be what's going to be on the screen right now as we walk through this. But this will be a recap of the bottles, and I'm going to spin a wheel to determine if the samples are going to be in the north, the west, the south, or the east, so that this is all, as randomized as we can get it. So here are our 4 seeds. So these were the lower ranked bottles of this tournament, and you got some amazing bottles on here. So this is going to be a fun blind flight. But we got the Hard Truth Caramel Malt Rye, Jack Daniel's 12, Legent Yamazaki, and Larceny Barrel Proof B523. Kelsey, Darrell, what's your favorite of this group?
Oh, that's easy for me. Caramel Malted Rye.
Ooh, shoot. Probably the Larceny. As much as I don't know. Probably Larceny.
All right. Can you guys see that all right? Let's see. Did that
Yep.
switch the screen over? All right. So I got this north, south, east, west. I'll keep track of this. We're going to go down the line. So we're going to start out with the hard truth. And that one is going to land in the west. Okay.
I'm frozen again. That's great.
Then we're going to move on to the Jack Daniels. All right, Kelsey, why don't you tell me what those are? Because I'm going to type while I go.
North.
What did Jack Daniels land on? North?
North.
All right. This one is going to be for the Legion. And then, of course, that automatically dictates where the larceny is going to go. So the Legion's in the east. Larceny is in the north.
West. Yep.
All right. Did I say north? No, south, right? South. There we go. All right. So that's that one. Going to put the directions back in there. Let me show you what the 3 seeds are. So then we have the 3 seeds. Wow. Nash Tucky Special Release, 4-gate from Poor Nerds, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Y723, which was the fill your own bottle, Elijah Craig. Small batch, 8 barrels that you get to fill your own bottle if you do that experience at the distillery. And then the Knob Creek Beam Tack.
That's a tough one. I probably would be super close with Nash Tucky and the Knob Creek. Those are 2 super, super great bottles. I'm going to have to lean more towards the Nash Tucky just because it's more my profile.
That Nash Tucky's the one I chose, the Lawrence Stash?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah. That would be my top out of those 4.
All right. Well, let's see where the Nash Tucky's going. It's going in the east. All right. And then let me know what direction this lands when you see it, because I got to keep switching screens here. So this is for the 4-gate.
And it is going in the south.
South. All right. And then we've got one more wheel spin here. This one is for the Elijah Craig.
Elijah Craig is going into the north, and then the Beam Tack would be going into the west.
To the west. All right. Let's get all the directions back in there again. So moving back to the bottles that are in this, our 2 seeds are a 4-gate again. This one's the CBO barrel. 13th Colony Double Oak, the Hard Truth Rye Single Barrel from the distillery, and Corbin Cash Merced Rye. Did I say it right?
Merced, yeah.
Yep.
Yes. All right, 5th time's the charm.
I'm going to say the hard truth on this one. It's really close to the Double Oak, but I think the Hard Truth overall is absolutely amazing single barrel.
Yeah, same here.
Ooh, okay. Votes for the Hard Truth. So let's get the wheel spin here. We're going to do the 4-gate first.
Okay.
All right.
South.
Going to the south. Yep.
Got the south. So that's that. Next one is going to be the 13th Colony. Let me know where it lands.
Okay.
I'm guessing east. Am I right? No. North.
Going to the north.
Going to the north. I should have made Darrell tell me how many times to randomize the directions, because he loves that so much. All right. Next one is the Hard
West.
Truth. Okay. And then we've got the Corbin, which would be in the east.
In the east, yep.
All right. Let's get our directions back in there.
What do we got?
The number 1 seeds are
4-gate seed. Oh,
No. Copper and Cask, Michter's 10-year.
Copper and Cask Single Barrel.
4 Roses LE. Oh, I've got to go with my 10-year. That's my pick for
Man, going the low proofer, man. That's a
Yeah.
tough challenge for that Michter's 10. It's
It
good.
is, but man, it's got a ton of flavor on it.
Oh man.
Cheers to the zero.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's gonna
Like,
be
all
it's
these are
gonna be a hard one.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, they're all number ones for me, honestly. Like, on a certain day. Like,
Yep.
I'll take that copper and cask all day. Like, I'll take them all.
I
Agreed.
feel like the copper and cask is this year's Houdini, where on paper
Agreed.
it doesn't look like it should compete, but
Yeah.
man, I don't know what it's going to do in those blind fights.
Agreed.
Like, how is this 8-year single barrel MGP unassuming pick going to be in the list of everything we just read?
Right. It's crazy.
Wow.
All right, let's see where that
So
copper and
good.
cask falls. So
As long
let
as
me
that
know what
Michter's is
direction
not
that
in like a barrel proof
falls.
freaking flight, it may do all right. But everything else is kind of high.
North.
So which one? Copper?
Copper and cask is in the north.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the next one's going to be the Michter's.
Yep.
You got the east.
East.
All right.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and shut off super chats. So Ethan and Katie, if you'll start working those for us, please. In the south.
Got the south, and that one is the Elijah Craig.
Yep.
And then that leaves the west for the Four Roses.
Yep.
All right. So I'll remove that there. While Ethan and Katie are getting that ready, I'm going to do some copy and paste here and do this bracket real quick.
Yeah, Tony, that Michter sure fooled me. I thought it was 18 to 20 years old. You're so welcome, buddy. I mean, it's an incredible pour. Like I said, I think the only thing that's going to hinder it is the proof against some of the others that are going to have as much flavor as they do, but just have a little bit more proof on it. But man, that was probably the best Michter single barrel I've ever tasted. I've tasted quite a few of them by far. It's not even close on the other ones that I've tasted. Agreed, Katie. That copper and cask bottle is definitely something very special.
Dude, the north is loaded. That is so crazy. Oh my gosh.
Are you able to pull it up?
I'm still typing out, but man, that one, as soon as I got done with that, I was like, whoa.
And we only could take one bottle from there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So the Michter's.
Grace got to be interested. Starlight's VDN to me are not like their favorite finish for me. It tends to be really sharp and a little bit bitter on the finish. So I'll be interested to hear what you think about those. I'm not a fan of their VDNs, but that's just my palate.
All right. So there's the Legion. And then I'll be done with this in just a second, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there. All right. The West.
Did I hear that Christine Vasco is starting a channel? Christine and Mark? At Bourbon Bounty, we are starting a channel, A Spirited Life.
Hey.
Just as the beginning. First episode to be up Friday night. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Both Hard Truths. Spoiler, but both Hard Truths fell in the same bracket.
Oh, no. Well, we know which one's going to win out of the two. I'll just be honest.
I was like, that sucks for the caramel malt because it's really
exactly.
All right. I've got one. I got the South left to do, and then I'm done.
Okay. So they got the link sent to you, Jeff, as well.
Oh, both Four Gates fell into the same. Oh, oh, that's awesome.
Here you go, guys. Go ahead and everybody jump on over to Spirited Life and check them out. That's their link that we were just talking about. The awesome people, Christine and Mark Vasco. Is Jason going live tonight as normal?
Yeah, just popped on my phone.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll be wrapping up and then we'll go over there in just a few minutes.
we will be wrapping up here. So before I unveil the bracket, we should do the let's do the super chats.
Nancy, they're based out of get their whiskey from Indiana, but age in Florida, correct, Darrell?
No,
Or
so
Maryland.
they're based here in Rhode Island.
Rhode
So
Island.
they-
That's right. Rhode Island. Sorry.
But yeah, all their bourbon is MGP. Then they got a mixture of some Canadian ryes as well.
Gotcha.
All right, let me share screen here. We'll do the giveaways. We'll do it in reverse order. So we'll do Darrell's flight, my flight, and then the grand prize, Kelsey's turkey bottle.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Darrell, how many times should I randomize it?
None.
Kelsey, how many times should I randomize it?
Oh, gosh.
It's already in random order. You guys kill me. Just spin.
All right,
Come
I'm going
on,
to
Jeff.
randomize it.
Let's
I'm gonna
go.
randomize it 3 times. I love how I randomize it and Mark is still together here. Bourbon Patty is still together. One more time. There we go. All right, there we go. 4 times. And I put Mr. Jiggs next to each other. All right.
That made it more random.
I know, it did. I did my due diligence there. All right,
All
Darrell's flight.
Mr. Jiggs.
All right.
All right.
Congratulations.
Darrell's got some great bottles, man. So.
All right. Randomize again. Let's spin for my flight. Ooh, top dog.
Hot dog.
All right. Congrats.
That'll be an easy one for you to deliver.
That will be. All right,
he's in
Kelsey,
Tennessee,
for your turkey. How many times should I randomize?
None. Just hit the spin button.
And
Is that
Mark.
Mark. All right,
There
man.
you go.
We'll get one of these into you, buddy.
Man, congratulations to all of our winner, and thank you so much to everybody who contributed tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thanks to Nancy again for dropping in and dropping some knowledge and always hanging out with us. It's always a blast. Thank you, Nancy.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me pull in our official bracket here.
All right.
Let's take a peek.
I can't believe the hard truths and the 4 gates all fell in the same spots. I suppose I could have let the drama unfold as I, showed the bracket, but that was just too weird as I was typing it. All right, so here it is here. And then I'll get the form out, everybody, on the Patreon this week. And as we go through this, want everybody to pick what they think will be in the Final Four and what they think will be the winner. So let me go through that. And then here is our bracket. So in the North, which is going to be probably, I think, the one I'm looking forward to the most right off the bat.
Wow.
Copper and Cass versus 13th Colony versus ECBP Porierone versus the Jack 12.
Oh, shit.
Wow. That's going to be fucking stacked, bro. That's crazy.
And there can be only one.
Wow.
Damn. All right.
In the East, we've got the Mictors versus the Corbin Cash versus the Nash Tucky versus the Legion Yamazaki.
Okay.
That'll be an interesting one, too, because 2 of those taste, well, there's a lot of finishing tasting going on in that realm, so.
Then in the West, we got the Rise, the Hard Truth Single Barrel, and the Hard Truth Caramel Malt versus the Knob Creek Beam Tack versus the Four Roses LE.
Ooh, that'll be a good one, too.
Man. And then in the South, the ECBP C923 versus 2 different 4-gate. I believe they're both 10-year, right, Darrell?
Yeah.
The Pointers is 10-year too?
Yes. No,
Versus-
no, it's a 7-year.
No?
It's a 7-year.
A 7-year. Okay.
Oh,
Versus
yeah.
a 10-year,
Yeah, you're right.
a 10-year single barrel 4-gate and a 7-year single barrel 4-gate.
Yep.
And then the Larceny Barrel Proof 523. B523.
Yep.
All right.
Big Vic said east.
So it begins.
West Knob Creek. Okay.
So I believe we're going to kick this tournament off next week. Kelsey, Darrell, and I have to do some coordination here because some of us have this bottle, some of us have that bottle. So hopefully it'll start next week. If not, we'll kick it forward. But either way, that link will go out for people to predict what they think will be the Final Four and what they think will be the champion. All right. Well, we are a few minutes over. It's time to go head over to Jason's. Kelsey, why don't you start off the sign-off process?
All right. Cheers, everybody. Thanks so much for coming in tonight. Definitely made my night a lot better. And we'll see you next week. And hopefully we'll get this tournament started and see where everything lands out. So you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, Friday's drop is going to be Disco 11. So make sure you guys check that out. Appreciate you.
Nice, guys. Yeah, and you can find me at the Whiskey Saint on IG and just continue to follow us through here, man. Excited for next week. I think we should be good with starting on time, getting this going. But I'm really excited to see where all these, these bottles land blind. It's tough. Like, I know all of us will probably be picking them apart, trying to maybe guess what they actually are, but it's fun putting them all against each other, to see where
absolutely. We had some really different winners that we didn't think were going to be winners last year. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Hopefully I got my computer working next week. So there's no more technical difficulties. I'll try to work on that. But yeah. Cheers everybody that's here. Glad to see you and stay tuned for next week. It's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who came tonight, who commented, who gave us a like, who played in the Advent Challenge. All the above. Love you all, and we will see you next Whiskey Wednesday. Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
Jeff, just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you say hello again. Oh, Jeffrey, you should just be friends with me. But you have these whiskey friends, and you